Good morning. I just wanted to quickly welcome you to class today. Today we're going to finish up on that 30, 60, 90 triangle in the 45, as well as wanted to show you a couple things. We're going to make a ruler today and do our first drawing of the lake cabin. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch over to the other camera. And so here's my table, and let's go over a couple things real quick. I wanted to show you something, because I was looking at a few of your triangles, and some of you missed something on it. The 45 is this line this way. And that's, remember I was telling you this would make this would make a 30, 60, 90 right there. So this is not 45, or from this edge to here. It is this line to that line makes 40. Okay? So, because if we add 45 to 30, what do we get? 75 plus that. Okay, makes 80, 90. 90 plus 90 is 180. So that's what I wanted to verify. And I wanted to show you how good this is. So I have some of my triangles. So let's go ahead and show you a 30-60, which is right here. I'm going to slide this up into that point, right there. And here's the 90 all the way down. So we made a pretty good 30-60 there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and show you the 45. Once again, I'm going to go right off this edge over to this edge. Okay. And there it lines up there, and it lines up right there, so you get 45. So that 45 triangle. Okay. So one thing I was thinking about the other day when I was looking at this and I was about to make a drawing was maybe, and I'm not going to do it on this one, is to cut that line to that line, so that way you have an easier way to trace that 45. So mostly I'm not doing it because I don't have a glue stick with me. So when I get a glue stick and I can glue this up, then I will. And so this way I have a 90, a 60, a 45, 15, and a 30. Okay, so this way I have all the angles I need. Okay, so today we're going to do a ruler. So today's card stock happens to be round, or tan. All right, so what we're going to do is first we're going to fold it kind of like a fan. So if you remember in elementary school, we're going to fold this in half. Remember, let's make sure I get our corner to our corner matching. Okay, this is also known as folding it the hot dog style. So remember, if you need to ask any questions or anything, get me through Google Hangout. Same code from last time, and so that way we are ready to go through this. Okay? Alright, so I'm just matching up those corners. Yeah, that's good, that's good. I'm going to bring my thumb over, crease. And crease. Okay? Yeah, I'm a little off. It's okay. So now, what I'm going to do, because I want a nice good edge right there, but I don't need this much material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold both of these inwards, okay? So I'm going to take this one, let me, again, so that way it's easier to see. I want to just draw a line right in the seam. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and match that line up. Remember, I'm rolling this paper, so if you have an issue, just take it over to the edge and roll the paper over. This way, as you bring it in, you can roll it and it won't crease too much. And you can see there's a spot that it's kind of creasing. Okay, so I'm going to line up those. And we'll go so that way I can see the line the whole time. So that way means the paper edge, this edge, will actually be on this side of the line. Okay? Trace that. Okay, same thing, I'm going to go ahead and do this side. And I'm going to do just a little bit on this side of the line. So what will happen is you'll see a small gap. Okay? See if I can get this up on the camera. Nope, see, I creased my paper. So when I line this up, there's a small gap. So that way when I fold it over, they're not pinching on each other. Okay, that will make a better ruler for what we need to do. So that one's in that spot, in that spot. Okay, and crease it down. There we go. So now, when I fold that over, because the paper has thickness, it gives that spot for that paper to go. Okay, go ahead and now crease it. Each measurement, okay, I'm just going to start right there to make it easier. And you can see this paper is not actually exactly 12 inches. I'm a 16th off. But that's not what we're worried about. Okay, so we're not going to use this. What I want you to do is you're going to get your pencil and we're going to just go and figure our inch. So where's an inch? Well, is this an inch? Okay. We're going to make your own ruler, okay? Just prior to the day of standardized measurements, it was the king's foot. So, you're going to make your ruler. This is your ruler that all measurements will be based off of. Make sure you don't lose it because you'll need it for all the drawings. We will continue to use this all the way in May if we do return because we will finish the lake cabin when we come back, okay? So what I'm going to do is we can do it several different ways. We can sit here and fold it and get all those measurements, okay? Or we can sit here and just draw them off. I'm gonna fold it. So that way, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fold it in half, fold it in half, fold it in half, fold it in half. And this way I get equal measurements. And then I'll go from there. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna undo this one. So it's all open again. And I'm gonna fold it in half. And I'm going to make sure I get nice straight lines. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to say this is a foot. That would make 6 inches. Okay. So if I'm going to fold it in half again, what do we get? So I'm going to fold it back on itself. And see that as the paper folds on itself, because of the thickness of the paper, it will do that. So that's why I'm going to do one this way. There we go. And then I'm going to fold this one this way. Okay. So now I got a nice little pattern, but 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches. So what's next? Well, we're going to fold it again. We need to get down to, because this is 4, we need 12 boxes. Okay? So remember, I'm going back and forth so that the thickness of the paper isn't showing up so bad in the fold. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I fold them all again, I'm going to get 16. There's some trick for you. We'll figure it out later. Okay. So we'll make it 16 inches worth of paper, right? I'm okay with that. Or we can leave it like that. This makes this 8 inches. Let's see here. I don't know. If we do that, that would be half. That would be half an inch. I think I'm going to go with that because if I go any smaller, say I fold this paper in half, and that would be, and then a half an inch there. And I want it easy. So, like I said, this doesn't need to be accurate to a ruler. You're creating your own measurements, okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and fold this back up. Okay, and I have all these little creases. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line in them so that way I can see them easier. Okay. Oh, that one was kind of crooked. Okay, so here we go. Now you can see them easily. So let's go ahead and make up that smaller measurement. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab, so here's where I put some glue right here. So that way I fold it over and hold down. Or you could take this edge. I want to use a glue stick so that way I have this edge or that edge to draw on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a second piece of paper. Grab out of my box. And this one is another pink. Okay, and I'm going to set it in that little spot. So what I've done is I've lined this up and I have that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw that line in there. Okay, so now I can grab my triangle. Right? And I need a 90-degree line. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. There's my mark. There's my paper, 90 degrees. And I'm going to draw it down. Okay? So this is 1 unit of measurement on my scale. I'm going to grab my, sorry, just checking to see if any messages. Okay. Down here. I'm going to now cut that unit out. Okay. So I have 1 unit of measurement right there. Okay. So with that unit of measurement, I'm going to now make that inch. So these are, I'm going to call them ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now remember, when I put the tape measure, this was actually a lot longer. It was 12 inches. But it does not matter. We're making our own version. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this one in half. It's going to be a little tricky with small papers, big fat fingers. Okay. So there's half. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my triangle. I'm going to draw my line inside there. Okay, and now I have a line so I can see it. And I'm going to cut up the line just a little bit. And then I'm going to cut that little piece off. So now I have a step. Okay, So what I'm going to do now is now this is half that measurement. I'm going to do this again. Going through that line. Okay, drawing that. Now I'm going to put a pencil mark there. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to snip a little piece off of there. Okay. There we go. So now I have a step. So what I can do is I take my ruler, okay, and I can now take my step, and I can go ahead, and I'm going to lay it down right here. Okay, and now I can make this mark and this mark, right? And then I come around, flip it over, line them up, that mark. Okay, so now I have my marks, right? A half, a quarter. So I'm going to go through and do that to each one of these real quickly. Now I'm going to flip over and do this one down. Okay, so now I have a scaled measurement. I don't want to say ruler, because this isn't accurate to a tape measure, okay? So once again, if I grab this and I pull this out, each one of those lines is representing 1.5 inches, okay? I'm not worried about that. Like I said, it doesn't need to be accurate to a ruler. You're making your own ruler, and everything will be based off of this. So I now have my ruler. I'm going to take my triangle. I need my 90 degree. I'm going to sit there and hopefully my lines are good. I can actually use the top of that ruler, and I can sit there and make guidelines all the way down. Okay, so that way I have my measurements. So we're going to call this a quarter. Okay, and then here's another quarter. That would be 2 quarters, right here on this mark. So this way you know your measurements. So this is, I should put them on here, 1 quarter, half, and then this line is 3 quarters, okay? Quarter, half, 3 quarters. So we have our ruler, okay? So now we're gonna go ahead, within the next quick second, we're gonna draw our lake cabin. Actually, you know what? This is where we'll stop. You make your ruler, so you have finished with making your tools. You will have a ruler. I want you to go ahead and make sure you put all the graduations on there. Just go to a quarter, you know, where you split it that many times, that's fine enough. Make sure you have your triangle, which was demonstrated in the last video. So we have these 2 tools. For starting Tuesday, when I see you guys again, we'll draw our cabin there. That puts us back a little bit, but that's okay. I don't want to do too much. Easter Sunday, or Easter weekend, tomorrow's Good Friday, so this all can be done within a few minutes. I did it in 22 minutes demonstrating it to you guys. So Once again, I need a picture of this for your assignment today. Just turn it into what you have for the assignment of 4-9. All right, I will see you guys on Tuesday. Looking forward to seeing your guys' work, and have a wonderful weekend.